This motorcycle is a 2015 Sportster Custom. It's 5 years old, obviously, and about 30,000 miles on it. Its proper model number is XL1200 CA. So here's what it is, folks. I've had this problem for probably a few months. It's just been increasing. So out of nowhere, there was a red light, which is generally associated with the security feature of the motorcycle, that was coming up on the dial, on the speed dial, and I was guessing what it is until someone said, "Hey, your brake light's always on." And the thing is, when I start off, the brake light was normal, but when I start moving on, and probably maybe if I hit 70 miles per hour for maybe a few minutes on the motorway, the brake light used to come on apparently, and as a result there was a red light on the dial, which probably indicated that, hey, there's something wrong, have a look. Just didn't know what it was. So finally figured out what it was. It just so happened that the brake light stayed on when after a few minutes of the journey, into the journey. I started investigating what the issue was, brake lever on the handle, and I opened that up to see if there's some issue over there. I don't know if I could successfully say that there was a problem, but if there is, I will soon find out. But definitely after I did that, I tested the entire system again. There was not really much of an issue. So my focus changed to the foot brake, and for the foot pedal, and then I did some research as well, and I found out online that there were others with such problems. Anyways, it turns out that if over a period of time, with the heat around it, the switch, the foot pedal switch for the brake, the switch just goes off. So I decided to have a look and see if that was the reason. I got replacements for both switches, the front and the rear, to see if that, just in case I need them, so it's handy. I bought OEM parts. This is for the front switch. It also, something to note is that while replacing the front switch, if you ever have to do it, you need to snip the original wires, because the original wires go through a mold which goes to the switch housing, and that is not something you should be messing with. In the manual for the repair, it is recommended that you snip it anyway. So you snip it and then you attach it to this new switch that comes with wires, and you probably put some shrink tubing just to insulate, or some other means of insulation, whatever is appropriate. Yeah, that's about that. So here we have in the insulation shrink tube, which needs to be cut. I've already done the cutting. So this is right under the brake, so you have to take the exhaust off in order to be able to get to it. As you can see, it looks quite, despite of the cover, it looks quite rusted, and I believe this is corroded from the outside and probably damaged from the inside with all the heat surrounding it from the exhaust. This thing needs to be replaced, so we've got to be very careful when you take this off. So there's another one hexagonal bit on the left side of it, which needs to be held tight in place, or it's gonna shake the entire thing. So the intention will be to use 2 spanners. I cannot show this on video right now. That's the replacement bit. I've bought an original OEM part from Harley. It's something around 20 pounds. I think it is a 17 mil spanner that you need. So if you have a 17 mil spanner. You need 17mm spanner for both. So I've got only one, so I've used the spanner on the left hand and use something else to get the grip off, to break the nut and then open it up. You get to slide this off those silver holes over there. It just slides in. There are two wires, one on facing outwards and one facing on the inside. So once I replace this, I'm expecting some of the brake oil to drip off as I open this up. There is no way that oil is going to stay in. Something I've checked on some other videos is to just take the pressure, put the pressure in. I'm gonna hold on to the or press the brake lever down. If you have weights, you could probably use that as you open it. In my case, I think I'll be happier to do that, so I don't know if it's possible. If there's any kind of air, it will probably come out. There's not much brake oil that really comes out, maybe a few drops, but you got to be really quick. I'm going to replace the shrink tube originally there with an 18mm shrink tube. It's a bit of a tight fit. You could probably get something like 19 or 20. Once in, I will do, in my case I'm using the Mrs.'s hairdryer to shrink the tube at least a little bit. Rest of it will get shrunk when you start the engine up and when the exhaust is hot again, and that will be enough to shrink the tube. Obviously it will shrink only as much as it can. Try to keep that in because it's a delicate area, I would say, because not the entire switch threading goes in. It's just a part of the threading. Don't try to tighten it too much. In my case, I have had to remove the rear and the front silencer or muffler because I didn't really have a choice with it, because it was all stuck. So I'll probably grease it as I put it back in. This little part here is the switch, the old switch, the one that I've taken off. Yeah. If it gets in focus, you'll see there's corrosion on it, but that's on the outer body. Well, the heat does get to it, eventually every switch spoils, something happens to it, and it will break down in its lifetime. It needs a replacement. It has been replaced. All's good. Right, so the last thing I can say before I sign off is I have ridden the road conditions at various speeds, including the motorway. Motorcycle, I shall not say that I have been above speed limit, but in any case, the brake lights seem to be stable. The light on the dial, which is the one that's blinking right now, if it's captured in this, yep, there you see the blinking. So that is not solid on, or never is. In fact, it's switched off once the ride starts because it's no longer alarmed and no longer armed. So all is fine. Thank you very much.